Hey guys, rumor has it that CM Punk has retired from the WWE. I don't know whether this is true or whether it's just a work to promote a WrestleMania match, but knowing what CM Punk is like, this could very well be true. He probably has legitimately quit the WWE, which is not to say that he might be convinced to come back to the company at some point in the future, but knowing the kind of guy CM Punk is, this to me seems like he's making a stand for the full-time workers of the WWE. If this is true, I would understand that his reasons would be quite simply, you have guys busting their ass for the company 300 days a year, and then you get somebody like Batista coming back from 4 years without doing jack shit for the company, winning the Royal Rumble, then most likely going on to main event and win the WWE title at WrestleMania, which is precisely the thing that people like CM Punk or Daniel Bryan should be doing, and you have this part-time worker coming in, and ultimately I think his decision is basically just a way of saying that the WWE's business model is bullshit, not only to the fans but also to the wrestlers in the company. I just see so many similarities between the WWE today and the WCW in the late 90s, you know, the refusal to push young stars, the whole kind of like clique at the top, you know, the NWO, you know, today we've got the Breakfast Club, so to speak, for Orton, Cena and Triple H and whatnot. You know, I see so many similarities between the WWE and the WCW. Obviously, luckily for the WWE, they haven't got competition, so it doesn't really matter quite as much. But it just kind of amazes me just how history just keeps on repeating itself time and time again. And to me, if this is true that CM Punk has officially retired, this should be seriously a major concern for the WWE, because it's not even that, you know, they will miss him, obviously. It's not that he won't be on the card for them. That's the most important thing. It's just the symbolism of it, I think, is extremely important, you know, because the fans, you know, CM Punk leaving the company is the biggest harbinger symbol ever that the WWE is basically fucking a lot of things up. So in terms of PR for the company, somebody like CM Punk leaving, to anybody, and I know to any smart Mark Internet fan as it goes, but any fan who kind of half knows what's going on in the company, who tunes in every week, they'll see this and they'll be seriously asking a lot of questions to the company. And let's not forget the WWE are about to start the WWE Network, which in my opinion actually kind of does seem tempting. You know, you get the pay-per-views. I'm quite up for checking out all the old WCW pay-per-views. I never really watched them. The WWE Network kind of seems like a good idea, but if you got this bullshit looming over you, you know, the ridiculous booking in the Royal Rumble, the crowd shitting all over Batista winning, crowd crapping all over Randy Orton, John Cena chanting for Daniel Bryan, and him not even being in the Rumble, you know, you couple this with a star like CM Punk leaving, it raises so many damn questions. So again, this is still a relatively speculation, although it kind of seems a bit legit. I checked CM Punk's Twitter actually after Royal Rumble, and he tweeted, "The view never changes." And again, CM Punk's not the kind of guy. Anyone who's seen his documentary, which you should check out, it's absolutely fantastic. Anyone who's ever seen that knows that CM Punk wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's not the kind of guy he's just going to sit around and take shit. So to him, I think it's very possible he might have just made a stand, quit from the WWE. He could very well be back, but this is seriously worrying for the WWE. You know, obviously after the Royal Rumble, everyone's complaining about the product, saying the WWE needs to change. Well, you know, they don't really give a fuck what the fans think. You know, that's quite evident, considering likes of John Cena have been booed the fuck out of for almost 10 years and still are on top. But when you got top stars like CM Punk walking out, this is bad. And why I hate the business approach of this company, because they seem to always push old stars whilst not looking at the future. You know, it's like, to me, I think CM Punk, Daniel Bryan don't need to be the man. They don't need to be the face of the company. But you market them, you put them in big spots. So ultimately, then when you get the man, you can have them come up against the likes of CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and put them in big money grabbing matches. You know, the WWE are going to be in big shit if all they ever do is rely on old stars from 10 years ago, because when they retire, you know, they could probably wing it with the likes of maybe, you know, Rollins and Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. You know, maybe Biggie Langston. You know, maybe those guys in the future will be the main stars. So they could have just skipped over Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, which would be a disappointment and a disgrace. But you should make these guys more marketable, so then they can also build the next big guy, the next big face of the company can come up against the likes of CM Punk, and it actually means something instead of fucking Rock or Batista from 10 years ago. So CM Punk leaving, to me, says a hell of a lot about the WWF if this is true. And if he has genuinely left in protest to the way the company is being run, then good for him. And any motherfucker who would say some bullshit, well, like, the WWE gave him 444 days, you know, of a title reign. They made him the champion. They gave him an Undertaker WrestleMania match. All this bullshit. No. The WWE have basically used CM Punk, and they've basically shown him no fucking respect. You know, wrestlers give their bodies to the company 300 odd days a year, and the WWE has not rewarded CM Punk at all, other than financially. So CM Punk, in my opinion, has really got no fucking loyalty to the WWE, because the WWE have shown him, you know, no loyalty either. You know, you reward somebody like CM Punk with a big spot at WrestleMania instead of somebody like Batista. So if this is all true, good for you, CM Punk. But I must say, I'll be extremely surprised not to see CM Punk ever again, at least not WrestleMania. So very interesting time to be a wrestling fan. And CM Punk, I think you're a fucking phenomenal wrestler. You got everything. Not the guy, but you're damn fucking good. So if you have gone, it'll be very sad to see you go, but well the fuck done, showing the WWE, giving them a bit of shit. So congratulations for that. That's my opinion. Subscribe, you know the rest. Take care.